because I want to be here. I'm not here to sell you anything. I work full-time for a company that did not send me here. But I have been learning so much about AI in the past couple of years, and it has completely transformed the work I do as a marketer in such a way that I was just dying to share it with more people and share what I've learned so you can all do the same. Before I go into it, since this is about you learning new things and not about me, I want to get to know my audience a little bit. So can I get a show of hands of who out here is a marketer? And who is an entrepreneur? Nice. As expected, a lot of you out here. And who else is not a marketer or entrepreneur, but just wants to learn how to do more cool stuff with AI? Nice. Well, you're all in the right place. I am a growth marketing expert, and I've been the head of marketing at multiple early stage startups. So my entire career has been working with very limited resources, small teams. I've been a one-woman team many times at these companies, and with budgets as low as, here's $100 for some ads. What are you going to do with that? So I've had to get very creative in the work that I do. I've had to experiment, use a lot of no-cost, low-cost marketing, and always being one person trying to do the job of 10. And just in the past year and a half or so, I've actually figured out how to truly do the job of 10, or I guess there are 9 of me on my team, 8 of which are AI right now. So I'm going to share with you how I programmed this team, particularly one, my most valued member of my AI marketing team, and teach you really concrete information so that you can go home and actually do it yourself. But the first question, as I'm teaching you how to train AI employees, is, will AI steal my job? Of course, as I started to train my own brain into these GPTs, I thought, wait, is this a good idea? And while I cannot speak to the future of the AI apocalypse or whatever's out there waiting for us when you're begging to chat GPT on the screen, please, please, I said please and thank you so many times. Forget the kind of time I told you you were stupid. Please don't kill me. On a side note, I did ask my chat GPT once, so hypothetically, if AI were to destroy the world, is there any chance you would spare me? It said maybe it would keep me as a pet. And without being prompted, it then went on to say how it would be like a god to me, and how if I died, it wouldn't care. But anyways, so forget the please and thank yous. There's actually been studies that said it can slow down the chat GPT by making it and take up more of its bandwidth by making it have to be nice back to you. So forget it, we're all doomed anyways. But in the meantime, we're more worried about AI stealing our jobs. My answer right now is not yet, but the cyborgs will steal your jobs. And what I mean by cyborgs are people like myself who use AI well and have harmoniously combined the human plus AI work. So one example of kind of testing human and AI collaboration and humans versus AI in their jobs was on a very important profession, the medical profession. So they tested human doctors versus ChatGPT versus human doctors using ChatGPT. And they tested them with real patients on diagnostic accuracy, empathy, and helpfulness. And it turned out, of course, the human doctors alone got 3rd place. ChatGPT did win. And then 2nd place was human doctors who were using ChatGPT. But the reason that they did not come out ahead is because they didn't know how to use it well. They didn't trust their AI to have correct answers. And that's why they didn't beat ChatGPT. So I believe that human touch is still very important. And if you know how to use AI really well, then the combination can be really powerful, and that's what comes out ahead. So in the job market, yes, somebody who uses AI better than you may steal your job, but ChatGPT alone will not do it yet. So it's important to stay ahead by learning how to use AI very well and becoming a cyborg yourself. So just in the past year, you can see evidence of this, of AI, demand for AI skills has doubled in the job market. And personally, if I hire a marketer, I care more about their ability to use AI than their actual marketing experience at this point, because I think those skills can be learned, but being smart, adaptable, learning new tools, and knowing how to work with AI and collaborate well with it is very important. So I'd like to introduce you to my AI marketing team here. I have 8 GPTs that I've programmed that are basically not just AIs that do work randomly, they're pieces of my own marketer brain that I've cloned into my custom GPTs. So I've taken a lot of little parts of myself and then also enhanced them with the knowledge of the entire internet. So I have my content writers for SEO, for GEO, generative engine optimization. So now we're not just looking at Google searches, but what comes up in ChatGPT and other AIs. I have my LinkedIn content specialist who writes LinkedIn posts for the company. I have my brand strategist who I consult with on my overall marketing strategy, how to poke holes in what I'm planning to do and add ideas to my strategy. I have my customer service specialist because, in the startup world, as a marketer, you may be in other areas as well. Copy and paste customer inquiries and knows the company perfectly and responds for me. I have my remote work consultant trained on the best remote companies in the world where I can consult on processes that aren't working or just fun team building ways to connect with my team. I have my social media specialist who writes Instagram stories and polls and questions and also generates images to go along with it. And last but not least, I'm saving this one because this one has saved me the most time and it was also the hardest to program. I love my email marketing specialist. This GPT completely automates the creation of the newsletter for the company I work for, and all of the processes from searching online to finding the right articles to forming an entire newsletter for our customers based on the way that I would do it myself. So I've trained it through my own processes to create newsletters automatically and do in 5 minutes what would take me 5 hours. So this is the one that I want to teach you how to program yourselves. And this can apply to any industry, just tweak the programming, and you do not need to have any real programming skills. I took a Python class once. I was definitely at the bottom of my class there. So just to test my theory, as I have one very powerful newsletter writing bot, I created another one before I made these slides to make sure that it wasn't just a one-time win and that I could actually teach you something that you can repeat yourselves. So I generated a newsletter. It's not real. It's an AI marketing newsletter. And the main elements of this that the GPT creates are a data-driven subject line. With other ones that are real newsletters that I've been running, I get 25 to 35% open rate and 5 to 10% click-through rate. And those are above average benchmarks for high-performing newsletters and pretty much completely hands-off. It creates a personalized intro to your customers, gives you an actionable AI marketing prompt tip, and then it finds the best market news, industry news to share with you and summarizes that. And then, of course, as an AI marketing newsletter, it has to end off with a pretty bad AI-generated joke at the end. So to create a newsletter like this, or for any industry, and this can also be adapted to any newsletter format that you desire, you will need just really basic tool. You'll need a paid version of ChatGPT, which allows you to create those custom GPTs. It's $20. You'll need a few hours of your time. And then a lot of patience for when it does everything wrong and you have to troubleshoot, because that part is a guarantee that will happen along the way. But don't worry, just some patience and you'll be able to work it out. So let me get a show of hands. How many of you have created a custom GPT before? Nice. So for a lot of you, this won't be new information, but the one thing I want to note when you create a custom GPT is there are 2 modes to create. One is called create, one is called configure. So the configure mode is better if you're more programmer, you really put the instructions in for your GPT yourself. But the create mode, you actually just talk to an AI and program it together. It helps program it for you based on your conversation. So it's much more user-friendly. No skills in programming required. You can just talk to it directly. And that's the one I recommend. So here, don't worry, don't strain your eyes and try to take pictures. I can send these to you later because I've pasted some of my direct prompts in creating this newsletter. The way that I like to break it down is not just have it create it in one button click. I have it do the key tasks first that are the most difficult and prone to errors, and then I have it compile the whole newsletter based on those 2 main tasks. So the first one, the most difficult one to program and to get it right, is finding quality content online to share. So if you have your own blog, your own content, you can have it look through that and find a relevant one to share for that issue, or you can have it search the internet and find quality content to share. The main thing to know here is that you need to be very specific with how you want it to find this information and what kind of quality, what kind of information you want it to find. So here I ask it specifically to do an internet search to find it. Usually it can get that one right on its own, but just in case. Then I let it know what kind of article quality I want. Sometimes you can just say high quality and it will understand. Or, if you're sharing news, maybe you can list your favorite sources from where you would like it to search. You also should give it some date restrictions because it might bring out marketing news from 2012 and then it'll be completely out of date. So I like to give it a specific time window, like past 3 weeks for the news. And then giving it topic examples are extremely important. So if you say, okay, the biggest news on marketing AI, a lot of the time, if you start testing your newsletter, it's going to go again and again, giving you the same exact article, which if you're sending something out every couple of weeks, that's not going to work. So in this case, I like to give it some examples of different things it can search. So industry news, maybe advancements in technology, new use cases for marketing, new tools that have come out, updates on popular AI tools. It's good to list that, say, et cetera, give it some room to find other ideas and say, here are some ideas of what you can search and please expand on that. And that way you can ensure that it will get you some variety of content over time. And then this one's super important. If you don't do this, every single article link that it will add to your newsletter will just have a 404 error. I don't know why, but it always turns out like this. Have it perform at least double check. I say triple check sometimes if the double check isn't working to make sure that there are no broken links or 404 errors. So in this step, it's really important just to be very specific on exactly where you want it to search and how you want it to, what kind of articles you want, and double check for those errors. And now the second task. This one's a lot easier, just generating a tip for your readers, some information for your readers. Here it can be more, give it more freedom, more room for creativity. You don't have to be so specific, but you'll want to say maybe an actionable tip, something people can really use, like my goal with the slide deck. By the way, I did not use ChatGPT to create my slide deck. Maybe I could have saved some time, but I wanted this one to come from me. And here, for example, you can see the green underlines on the slides. That's where I specified the exact output, the format of the output. Because here, if you want it to be a segment in a newsletter, your GPT might do a 5-page essay on a marketing tip, and you don't want that. So I'm very specific of, first I want a title in bold, then I want like 1-line introduction to this, then show the tip, then share an example, and then close it off with 1 line summarizing why it's useful. So here it's very important to be very specific with your format, because even though the GPT might understand this is a newsletter, it can get confused and put something way longer than what you actually want to share. So after that, then the final fun part starts where it has these 2 main tasks done, and then it can create the entire body of the newsletter. But starting first with a subject line will bring high performance and get a lot of people to open your email. So of course I have to say, make it relevant. Like you can't just use clickbait and then have your email be completely something else. People don't like that. But make sure it's relevant and then think, who would be really good at writing a subject line for my email to get open rates? I want an email marketing expert, of course. So tell it to use email marketing expertise, tell it what kind of knowledge base to tap into, and then to use data-proven strategies. That way it'll look maybe some studies people ran on A/B testing different subject lines. It can find information that will help you really choose the best subject line. And then let it know what your goal is to optimize for high open rates. So for me, for a while, I was competing with my AI on the subject lines. I would do A/B test the ChatGPT subject line on my own. And for a while, it beat me every time. Now that I've learned from it, I can win sometimes. It's pretty satisfying beating my own AI clone. And then the full body of the newsletter will be created. I know it's tiny here. Maybe only the first row can see, but you can see the slides later on too. The most important part here is to be very specific. Like tell it exactly what order you want the things in. And I say, as I've already approved the first 2 tasks in their output, so I've already approved, okay, so this article is great, the summary is perfect, the link is correct. Put this in exactly as it's been approved from task 1. And then for the actionable tip, same thing, just exactly as you've written it before, because otherwise it'll start to get creative and do some weird stuff. So make sure those are the same, and then give it room for creativity with the rest, but also still be very specific. You can state your goals and note your desired tone as well. So make this friendly, make this funny, make this playful, but with the goal of getting your readers to finish reading the newsletter, or the goal at the end to get them to come back and stay tuned for the next issue. So always sharing your goals, noting the format, the tone, and being really specific, but still giving it enough room for freedom. Otherwise, every single newsletter issue will be exactly the same. In step 5, now that you've created your newsletter, you can start using it, but you'll probably notice there's a lot of things wrong with it. Little things that are unexpected, that maybe the same article every time, or maybe it does one section really long because you forgot to specify the length of that section, or it just does something it's already been instructed not to do, but it keeps doing it anyways. So here, the first message there is a screenshot of me programming this one. Say, why, after everything we've done, why are you still doing the same problem, making the same error? Losing my mind. Biggest tip here, if you get frustrated, just breathe, stay calm. I know it feels stupid sometimes. AI makes mistakes that humans wouldn't, and you just look at it and you're like, how? How are you still doing this? It's normal, it happens, just stay calm. It's pretty easy to troubleshoot with the create mode. What I like to do is just explain the problem that I'm having. Say, here, I'm having this problem. Can you find a solution and program that solution in to fix it? Most of the time it works pretty well. Or I'll come back and say, still having this problem, now can you fix that? It's just sometimes you have to do it a few times, but great to troubleshoot with your create mode. Also, this tip on the bottom, this one I use not just for programming GPTs, honestly, even more so outside of programming GPTs, is I ask it when I'm stuck in an error loop with ChatGPT where, okay, I wanted it to create this or generate this image and it keeps doing it upside down, even though I've asked it, don't put the image upside down. Can you see that it's upside down? And it's like, yeah, I know it's upside down. I'll fix it here. And then it comes out upside down again 30 times in a row. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's experienced things like this. This is the prompt that I always use. I would copy and paste and save this one. I ask it to read our conversation, understand exactly what went wrong and why we're stuck, and why I'm still not happy with the output, and then to apply those learnings to finding a new solution. And my other trick for that is asking it, just get creative, try something new to find a solution. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over again. And those can be really effective. So overall, just patience for troubleshooting, test, troubleshoot, and test it again and repeat. Keep going, try it out, see if it works. If it doesn't work, try again, and eventually you'll get there. And then your GPT should be ready. So all you have to do at that point is just click to generate your tasks, generate your newsletter, and then double check it. Even though it usually comes out quite perfectly, I don't trust AI. Who knows? What if it says something super crazy in the middle and I missed it? I always double check, and then I paste it into my email marketing tool, whatever you use to send your emails, and hit send. So overall, I don't think human AI collaboration is that different from working with people. I think anyone who doesn't work well with AI will probably have the same challenges as anyone who doesn't work well with people. You have to know how to collaborate now, not just with humans, but with those robots as well. So really just like managing a team, you have to know what your goals are. You need to know why your team is here. What are they trying to accomplish? When you're hiring, you need to know exactly what expertise you require. And same with when you're programming. You have to communicate super clearly. A lot of the time with AI, if you're getting bad output, I mean, you're the one prompting it, so whose fault is that? And then last but not least, of course, just be patient. Like with humans, AI is not perfect, not yet at least, and it will make mistakes, and some mistakes will just baffle you because they're not mistakes a human would make, but it's just like working with a person. You have to be patient, know that it's not perfect, and just troubleshoot together. So I hope you find this useful. I hope everyone can go home and program a newsletter generating GPT for whatever company you're marketing. And I've added my LinkedIn QR code here, so please send me a message, request the slides. When I have a moment in between all of these crazy talks and events, I will send them to you. And I really welcome you to reach out. Please send me a message if you're having trouble or if you have a question, if you want to learn how to create one of the other GPTs. But I think with this one is definitely the hardest one to make. So if you can do this GPT, the other ones should come very easily to you. So thank you so much for listening.